Hello, everyone. Welcome. So lovely to be and to recognize myself. I recognize myself as this borderless presence. This recognition is effortless. We are always invited to this recognition. In this recognition, there is peace, because there is no separation. There is no separate self. Everything is myself. There is no opposition. Because any opposition would mean opposing myself. What for? So in this moment, we don't need the past. We don't need our stories or our history. We don't need to define ourselves via the body-mind. So we can meet freshly to be this innocent presence, which is not in time, which does not know personal problems. Because personal problems belong to me, and this me is in the past. It's an imaginary person, a storyline, which is made out of memories and beliefs. But in presence, there is freedom, there is openness, there is innocence and availability, without any fear, without any personal self, without any personal concerns. So there is no need to carry on dead corpses, old stories. There's no need to repeat the past over and over, veiling this borderless presence. So for now, we experience ourselves as this borderless awareness, not as a father, a mother, a son, or a daughter. Can we do that? Can we let go, just for now, of our history, of our story, of our identity, which belong to the body-mind? But we don't need to carry on. We don't need that in this moment. In the absence of the past and the future, in the absence of the old mind, repetitive mind, there is presence. The source, formless awareness. That which you are. And this formless awareness does not know unhappiness. It does not know the sense of lack. It does not know getting hurt. It does not know fear or envy. It does not know greed. It does not know being unloved or abandoned. All of that belongs to the past, that which you refer to as the mind, the conditioned aspect. So you can come to your freedom, not your freedom as a person, but the recognition of your true self as this freedom, this formless reality, the only reality there is. And in knowing yourself as this reality, there is no sorrow. There is no entity, no personal entity. So when you investigate the root cause of sorrow, you find an illusory personal self to which you give importance, believing in a separate personal consciousness is separation, the sense of isolation, separation from love, separation from peace, which is causeless, separation from the wholeness, from the plenitude, separation from health and wealth, separation from being. But there is no power to any belief outside the power you give it via your reckless habit of going back over and over to the me narrative, seemingly entertaining yourself with the me narrative. Me and him, me and her, us and them. What happened to me? What did they do to me? Why is this happening to me? The more you hold on to this me narrative, the deeper your angst. But you are not limited by that which you perceive. You are not defined by the world, body, mind that you perceive. Awareness, consciousness is not tainted or stained by its creation. The screen is not affected by the images which appears within it. But habitually, we keep running and rerunning the old narratives. Your freedom is available to you in letting go of these patterns because you are capable of turning your attention to presence, the inner stillness, the silence, that which is unmoved, which is the awareness that you are. Rather than continuing to repeat the old. Sorrow does not belong to you. It belongs to the illusory self. So you're invited to make this choice, the choice of recognizing yourself as this formless aware presence, or identify yourself with the body-mind. One choice reveals your freedom, and the other, the illusion of separation. So if you have any questions, anything that you would like to explore, please make sure to unmute yourself. Hello, Wisla.
Hi, Magdi. How are you? Thanks so much for the lesson. My question emerges from the what if question. So as I understood you saying, we have this body-mind thing which leads to identification, isolation, and eventually suffering. And on the other hand, we have this unlimited, formless, nameless awareness, which is characterized by freedom. So as I hear, it is like either or situation. And my question is, what if it is actually yes and? What if body-mind is actually manifestation of this nameless, unlimited awareness, and both coexist because it's a dance, it's a movement, it's not stationary division.
Well, awareness, consciousness, this formless presence is that which you are. You know yourself as I. Nobody knows themselves as a 150-pound body or 160-pound body, now 162-pound body. A 12-year-old boy does not know himself, or a 12-year-old girl does not know herself as 45-pound body. They know themselves as I. And they know the body as a female body, a male body. So there is consciousness is that which you are. Now, the body, mind, thoughts, perceptions, sensations, you know them as you perceive them. You know them as appearances. You perceive them. That which you perceive is not separate from you. So in a way, yes, you also are that which you perceive. I would say that that which you perceive is not separate from you. It is your creation. For example, you may be a painter. You're a painter. And that's what you are as a metaphor. You are the painter. And then there is a certain image of a painting that appears to you. And you create it. You take your tools and you create the painting. You see? You could say that the painting, the image of the painting and the creation of the painting arose out of you. But you cannot say, I am the painting. You say, yes, you are right in that the painting is not separate from you. The images that arose to you and how the creation that you created is not apart from you, is not separate from you. But you do not walk around and say, I also am the painting. So there is this difference between being and existence. Existence arises out of being. Existence has its source in being. In other words, manifestation has its source in being. But being is not defined as existence.
So, Magdi, so in this equation that I do painting, but my identity is somewhere else, who is the one who is just speaking, who is teaching? Who is you who is teaching?
There's always consciousness. I am not the tool. There is a body-mind instrument, a biocomputer named Magdi. It's a male biocomputer. It's got a grayish beard. You can describe the weight, the characteristics of the machine, of the biocomputer, of the instrument. But that which is speaking is consciousness.
But that computer speaks about consciousness. It doesn't speak.
The biocomputer does not speak.
Mm.
So let me put it this way. When you are using a computer and you're typing an email, it is not the computer which is typing the email. You could say, oh, no, it is the computer which is typing the email, but not really. You are typing the email, not the computer. It's true that the computer is a Mac and it has a keyboard and a mouse, etc. You can describe the computer, but you cannot truly say that it's the computer which is typing, which is writing the email. So in response to your question, who is speaking? It is not the computer which is speaking. It is I. I is the self. I is consciousness, presence, beingness. The same I that is speaking is the same I that is hearing. There's only one I. There are many different computers, many different instruments. There is, I don't know, IBM computer, Mac computer, all sorts of various tools, instruments, different body minds. Yes, that's true. But there's only one reality, one consciousness. It's important to understand that experientially. Experientially, when you refer to the body, you're referring to Magdi the body, Wisla the body, certain age, born in a certain town, mom and dad, different mom, different dad. You're referring to the biocomputer. Yes. But that which is referring to the biocomputer, that which perceives, that which is and knows it is, that which manages the biocomputer is not the biocomputer. It is I, consciousness, the creator and the perceiver. The conceiver, the creator, and the perceiver is that one reality.
Thank you, Magdi. Thank you.
Okay, nice to see you, Wisla.
Thank you.
Sure. Any questions?
Hi, Magdi.
Oh, hello, Kinel. Yes.
Not so much a question, more kind of an observation from my personal perspective. I know that's the wrong perspective to take. I understand intellectually, conceptually what we're speaking about here, and I feel like I can engage with the ideas quite well. But when I look within my personal experience, I still feel like I'm trying to use the mind to find myself. And kind of the image comes up of awareness is like a hand, and the mind body is like a glove, and you put your hand inside the glove and you're trying to find the hand. And obviously that's the wrong place to look. The hand is just the hand knows it's a hand. But I guess from my limited experience, I'm struggling to disidentify from the glove, from the mind, and just almost believe that I am the hand itself.
Well, how do you define the mind? Are you referring to thoughts, for example? When you say...
Yeah.
Yes. So you're thinking about consciousness, and via your thinking about consciousness, you're hoping to get to know consciousness, right? In a way, yes. So, I mean, thinking about consciousness is a good thing to do, because you're reflecting about reality. What is it in this moment which is real? So in a way, the use of the mind in the direction of truth is a good direction. And so we contemplate, we explore, we read the scriptures, we ponder. It's a contemplation. We're using the mind to explore what is the reality of our experience. Is the reality of my experience the passing thoughts? Is the reality of my experience the many bodily sensations that appear is the reality of my experience, the memories that I have, and or the beliefs that I have about various things, which can change. The beliefs can change. You know, it may take some time. In some cases, it's very quick. So it's okay to use the mind in the contemplation of truth. But the understanding about truth is a moment where the mind has served its purpose and it collapses in the understanding. In the moment of understanding, in the aha moment, oh, I get it. I am not that which I perceive. Oh, I get it. It's like you've asked, you've already used the mind, you've explored in your own way, and at some moment you come to that aha moment. And at that moment, you have the experience of consciousness. Consciousness is not something that I'm perceiving. That's an experience. It's a revelation about consciousness. And it's only consciousness that's revealing itself in a way, flashing, showing off, you know. So in the moment of understanding, there is no mind. So in this understanding is experiential. It's visceral. It's a collapse of the 3D dimension into the cosmic realm, as a way of speaking. Okay. Now, it's okay to rely on the mind, even to, let's say, believe that if I continue to contemplate and explore and wonder about truth, that this is helpful. It's okay. There's no issue with that. But I would encourage you, for example, that when you consider that by using the mind in the contemplation of truth, I will come to the understanding of truth, I would invite you to also ask yourself, what is this I? When you say I, what are we referring to? Because that's also part of the contemplation. What am I referring to when I say I will come to the understanding? You see, there's only one I, one real I. There are many images of I's, many different personal ideas and images we have of ourselves that change over time, over age, over experience. But there's only one reality, one I, one awareness. So in that moment, when you ask yourself, what is this I? You come to, oh, I refers to the reality right now, which is, whatever it is, it's a formless awareness. Boom. That's a moment of understanding. That's a glimpse, you see. So the contemplation is paved with glimpses. And the mind is a good friend when used in the direction of exploration of truth and the contemplation and the inquiry. So it's one last point, that understanding is experiential, it's not conceptual. Whatever is conceptual, it means it's something that's appearing. It is still the process of contemplation. So we're using concepts, we're using thoughts, we're using our inner intuition, we're using our capacity to distinguish, we're using the reasoning. right? So you could say that's conceptual, but the understanding is never conceptual. It's always experiential. Before the understanding and after the understanding, there is a difference. Before the understanding, the mind has a certain setup. After the understanding, the mind has a slightly different setup. Something has shifted. And of course, sometimes we share our understanding, meaning we express using the mind now again, how things have changed, how they were before and how they are now. So we're basically trying to put words around our experience, which is always a new experience. Now my experience is such and such and such. And of course, the description of the understanding is just a description of the understanding, which is fine. It's an attempt to share and to display or to formulate the impact of the understanding on the body-mind.
And I guess in the meantime, there's a question of patience as well. Of, I guess, as you're saying, before the understanding comes from the perspective of the mind itself.
Patience goes hand in hand with impatience. Which is a different thing from being available to the unknown.
Mm.
Outside of time, in being, in presence. Because you are that which you seek, you see. So just to be available to that which you are, not that which you will become, that which will be revealed to you. You are you already, you are the revelation. To be not knowing. And to trust your understanding and live your understanding, invite yourself to live your understanding as being, as presence, as universal being, universal presence. Keeping in mind that looking for a future is illusion. And patience relates to the future and to the past. And who is it that is being patient? it's a habit to be looking beyond presence, beyond being, for whatever, for, you know, it. You are not 160, 170 pound. You're not. Right now, you're not 170, 160 pounds, whatever. You're not. You could say the body is, but who cares? You're not sitting on a chair right now. This is appearing to you, whatever this is appearing to you. You are this formless awareness. You're aware of the sensation of a chair or whatever. It is no words for sensations. But then the mind says, oh, okay, that's a chair. Fine, that's fine. Not a problem. We're not going to argue with that. And the fact that you're aware of a sensation in this moment doesn't mean anything about you. Right? It's an old habit to define yourself, I don't know, in so many different ways. It's an old memory, old pattern, an old download. It has nothing to do with your direct experience in this moment. So you go to your direct experience in the moment. Boom, direct. I am that. Whatever that is. Everything is myself. Why? Because everything that you perceive, everything that you can think of, everything that you experience is at zero distance from you. You're not experiencing Magdi or this conversation. He's in California and I'm in whatever. That's not your experience. And even when you experience Magdi's in California and I'm not, that very thought, you're experiencing that thought at zero distance from yourself. So experientially, you're always experiencing yourself. And then the mind has a narrative, which is also yourself. Saying, oh, this is this is that, this is there, this is there, this is blue, this is green, this is tall, this is short. But then the mind also says, this is me and this is not me. And now the bullshit starts. This is me and this is not me. This is a story. It's a story of me and not me. 50 million pages, book. It's still being written. There is a printing machine, printing 7 billion thoughts a second. And continuing this book, me and not me. But not me, what is that? What is no I, not I? It's a concept. It's okay. We choose I is this and not I is you. Okay, bravo, bravo, very nice. Hey, okay, we got it now, we got it. It's just a model, a mind game that has nothing to do with reality, has nothing to do with you.
Yeah, and I guess it's that habit of believing the narrative of the mind over the experience.
Yeah.
Is again, I want to say the sticking point, but I guess that's not what I mean. That I guess that's the distraction. That's the illusion. Is believing that
Believing
narrative.
the me narrative, yeah.
Mm.
It's juicy. You know,
Mm.
oh God, you know what my father did to me? Oh God, I gotta tell you. Oh, but you don't know, he did this and that, and my brother too. It's juicy.
It's like watching the news or talk about politics. It's just so it just drags you in, even if you don't want to.
Right. I mean, look at the billions of dollars that are made on, I don't know, what it's called, those People magazine, or whatever yeah, it's amazing. We love gossip. I remember being with this family. I was a guest for a few days. Oh my God. It was an endless gossip. That was it. That was it. It was gossip. You had meals, you gossiped, you had another meal, you gossiped, another meal, you gossiped, then you went to bed. It was exhausting. A nightmare. I couldn't do it. But we love to bring back the old stuff and flip it. And we flip it again. And we'll flip it this way. And then we're going to flip it again. Now we feel okay. Somehow we feel okay, but pretty miserable. Deep down, is misery still there. See? And then we shelve it for a moment and we pick up something else. Sometimes we don't even shelve it. We just stay with that. For years, this is called depression. No, it's called all sorts of psychological problems. They have to do 100% with the past, nothing to do with presence. Health and wealth are in being. Abundance, peace, freedom is in being, not in the world, not in the mind, not in the body, in the source. Yeah, so you can distinguish. That's an important thing for you to distinguish when you are now engaging in getting entertained or excited by the me narrative, even if it's a negative one, being engaged in it, versus seeing that this process is a dead-end process and letting it go and just resting as being without a goal. Because the goal is achieved in being.
And I guess the other question that keeps nagging me is, in light of all of that, on the one hand, as we were saying earlier, presence is everywhere, it's all the time, it's infinite. But at the same time, this in some ways feels like a evolutionary process, a maturation process. So in the same way as you kind of outgrow the news, you also eventually outgrow the me narrative. But I don't know if that's a helpful way of looking at it.
Yeah, there is a gradual process and there is a sudden process. It's both. It's like you take an aspirin because you have a headache. There's a gradual process where the headache is leaving and has left you, and then there is a sudden moment where it's, oh, there's no headache. So like the rose is blooming even when it's a bud, and it blooms and say, oh, it's bloomed, but it's actually been blooming all through, all along. The perfume of the rose was being processed until it filled the entire space. So I'm available to the gradual and to the sudden. And there is many glimpses of understanding, and the scenery changes post understanding, post glimpse and post glimpse and post glimpse. And yes, there is a sort of a gradual process. And at the same time, understanding is not in time, it's not gradual. So yes, it's both gradual and instantaneous. It takes care of itself. Just follow your love for truth, wherever it takes you. The path of happiness and celebration and compassion, and living as that.
Yeah, that's wonderful. Thank you. Yeah, it's clear to me in a way that my mind doesn't understand, but my mind is still trying to understand. So it almost feels like an impossible task, just kind of the dog chasing his tail. But yeah, no,
The mind,
it's yeah,
the mind never understands. It's the mind gets affected by the understanding, but understanding belongs to God. It comes from God to God. So the mind can become more and more obedient as a result of the understanding, more and more harmonious as a result of the understanding. Don't give too much power to the mind or my mind. Trust universal mind.
yes, brilliant. Thank you very much, Magdi. Really appreciate that.
Okay. Any questions? No questions? Okay. Well, thank you all. Very lovely to be with you. Thank you for your friendship and your company and your love. Okay.
Thank you, Magdi.
Thank you, Maggie.
Thank you, Magdi.
Thank you.
Thank you, Maggie.